All right. Ryan, would you like to lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. It's October 12th, 2020. On my left is Commissioner Aaron Mays, who represents District 3. On my right is Commissioner Kevin Cook, who represents District 2. I'm Bill Rippon, and I represent District 1. Madam Clerk, what's first?
First item is item 3, consent agenda.
I would move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item 4, new business A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Commissioners, this morning we have 2 voucher payments. The first voucher totals $1,216,351.12. The highlight out of that voucher report, Parks and Recreation with $141,216.48, and that was over a variety of different affairs. The health insurance for our employees was $279,706.68. Department of Corrections was $340,199.28, which was principally Horizon Health for the health care for the inmates. And finally, under Bridge was $307,629.87, of which that was the 69th Street, Southeast 69th Street over the Lynn Creek. The second voucher was $95,723, and that was for USD 321, and that is the coronavirus funds. I do not have any questions regarding either set, and I would move for their approval.
Second. Motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I would move that we approve the correction orders.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item B, Parks and Recreation number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C392-2020, Memorandum of Understanding between the Tenatson Society and Parks and Recreation to allow artists to paint a mural in Santa Fe Park with up to $1,500 in supplies and materials paid from the department operating budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation. I don't know if you remember earlier this year, we had someone come in and do some pretty horrible graffiti at Santa Fe Park, and we've since cleaned that up. But as part of that, coming out of that unfortunate event, we've started to work with some folks of this group, Tenatson Society, which is made up of folks that live over in Oakland, live in that area, and they came to us with the idea of doing a mural on the restroom there. And we thought that sounded like a great idea, and so we're proposing that we give them $1,500 to help cover the cost of the supplies, and in return they will paint that park restroom with some. Really, I've seen some mock-ups of what they want to do, and I think it looks really nice, and we'll bring those to you before we proceed. But we'd like to get your permission today to enter into this MOU and see if we can get that done. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
No, I'll take it. Yeah, go ahead.
Commissioner Mays, why don't you start off?
He was first. So, yeah.
Okay. Commissioner
Well,
Cook.
just Tim, again, there was some pretty disturbing graffiti that was put on there, and then we've covered it up. In working with this, are we trying to look at, we've been doing this in other parks as well, adding murals, adding a lot of different reliefs. Is this something that we're going to be looking at doing in other parks?
We actually did have that discussion with this group, that maybe this could be a pilot program and see how this goes, and we may expand into other parts of the city. I think it would be in again, we would want to reach out to folks that live in those neighborhoods and do that sort of public engagement before we did anything. But yeah, I think that this is a nice pilot program for what could be possible in other locations.
Because I know that at the, we worked with Arts Connect in the past.
Right.
And doing some murals in some parks, and so I think that's a good thing to add, more color and more excitement to the parks.
Sure.
Commissioner Mays?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment and say, I'm really appreciative of you doing this and going along and helping them. But I also really want to, just kind of point out the fact that this is community members that are coming together to turn something very ugly into something beautiful in their neighborhood. It's really good to see that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I've been involved in a number of these murals, and the thing I find interesting is they're never vandalized. And I certainly appreciate that. I know we involved the Aaron Douglas mural, and then there was one underneath the 21st Street Bridge on the Shunga Trail, and both of them very nice murals, and they don't ever get tagged. I like
You're right.
that. I don't
You're
understand I don't understand vandalism at all. I've never tried to really figure out what people are thinking when they do that, but it's good that they've stepped forward and wanted to work with us and came to us. That's great. So I will move to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next item.
Item B2, consider approval of request to reclassify the vacant AP supervisor position to a program events manager position at a salary including benefits of $50,232 with no additional financial impact to the departmental budget, and to fill any subsequent position that may become vacant from filling this position.
Yes, again, Tim Laurent, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation. We'd like to hire this program events manager specifically to operate, program, sort of reinvigorate the Great Overland Station. So that's where this position will be housed. That will be its main responsibility. They would work with other members of our department to do, to help do events that centered around the Great Overland Station and possibly at other locations. I think there's a real natural fit between the Old Prairie Town, Ward Mead Botanical Gardens, and Great Overland Station, so I could see some joint events happening there. But mainly that's what we're trying to accomplish here, is to hire somebody to operate this facility, program it, get the word out that we're here and that we're open for business. And with that, I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
What's our potential, or do we have any volunteer base to help out here at this point?
Yeah, so when we took over operation of the facility, they had a volunteer group that they've been working with. We have reached out to that group. And so I know that there's been some initial discussions about trying to do a sort of a Friends of Great Overland Station arrangement, which I think makes a lot of sense. So we absolutely want to work with that organization, and I think that would be one of the roles of this person, is to get that set up and sort of be the liaison between the Parks and Recreation Department and that group.
And this position will be housed here at this?
Yes, we're going to try to do that.
Any other questions? I'll move for approval.
Second?
Motion's been made by Commissioner Rippon, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Next
Thank you.
item.
Item C, Health Department, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C393-2020, renewal agreement with the Kansas Department of Health and Environment for the Women, Infants, and Children, WIC, breastfeeding peer counselor program services in Shawnee, Osage, and Wabunsee counties for a total allocation of $1,250,862 for the period of October 1, 2020 through September 30, 2021.
Good morning, Commissioners. Teresa Fisher, Family Health Division Manager with the Health Department. Before you today is a request to renew our contract with KDHE in order to provide WIC services not only here in Shawnee County, but also Osage and Wabunsee County. So as a reminder, WIC serves pregnant women, breastfeeding women, postpartum women, infants, and children up to age 5 that are income eligible. In 2019, we served approximately 5,700 participants, and of those participants, we also served about 700 breastfeeding women through the Breastfeeding Peer Counselor Program, which is also included in this agreement. Over the past 12 months, WIC Foods have accounted for a little over $2.4 million in stores that accept WIC in these 3 counties. Currently, we're providing remote certifications to all of our participants during the pandemic. We serve around 200 families each week, and I currently have 13 staff members that are providing these services. Subsequent contracts with both Osage and Wabunsee County will be coming forth in the near future. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
This grant, it's just a pure, well, there's no matching funds, or we don't have a percentage that we have to pay?
Correct.
Okay.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner May, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Thank you. Next item.
Item C2, consider
Teresa.
approval of request to waive purchasing policy and purchase 10,000 reusable masks at a cost not to exceed $35,000 to be paid by COVID-19 Spark funds.
Good morning, Commissioners. Linda Oaks from the Health Department. We are asking today to go ahead and order another 10,000 of these nifty reusable masks like I've been wearing and Teresa has on. We did order 3,000 this summer and they're about gone. And we have distributed them to agencies in town that could give them to people in need as well as our staff. We also are running lower on our paper mask supply, and we had that discussion about whether we should buy more paper or we should go ahead and go with the reusable ones, which I think are better for the environment. We're not, the new litter is paper masks. I see them all over the place. You probably do too. So we'd like to order these masks and use them at the courthouse and other county facilities to hand out to people when they need a mask. And we need to, the reason I'm asking to waive the policy is that we need to get this money spent. This is some of that Spark fund that has to be spent by the end of the year. So I'd be happy to answer any questions about that.
Yes.
I just want to also point out that, assuming that this is approved, that this is all going to go through a local company,
Yes, thank you.
and that, the dollars are actually going to stay in our community. So I would move to approve.
Second.
Motion's been made by Commissioner May, seconded by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Thank you. Oh, what next item? I guess you have another one.
Item C3, consider authorization and execution of contract C394-2020 with Hickok and Associates LLC to provide laboratory director services at a cost of $650 per month from November 1, 2020 through October 31, 2021, to be paid from tax allocation and program fees included in the 2020 and 2021 budgets.
Good morning, Commissioners. Linda Oaks from the Health Department again. We are required to have a qualified lab director by the Clinical Laboratory Improvement Amendment, or CLIA. This is because we do some lab tests in our STD clinic. So we have been working with Linda with Hickok and Associates for quite a few years. We did go out for bid probably 3 years ago, and she was the lowest bid at that point. There aren't a lot of people who can fulfill this requirement. So I've been very pleased with her services, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Move for approval.
Second?
All right, motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Linda. Next item.
Item C4, consider authorization and execution of contract C395-2020, a month-to-month lease agreement with New Mount Zion Church to lease space to conduct drive-through COVID-19 testing effective September 1, 2020, at a cost of $1,000 per month to be paid by COVID-19 grant funds.
Linda Oaks from the Health Department again. You might recall at the beginning of the COVID outbreak when we were able to start testing, we had a partnership with USD 501, and we started in the Highland Park High School parking lot, and it became really hot and they needed their parking lot. So we then entered a partnership with New Mount Zion Baptist Church to use their facility as a drive-through testing facility. We've been doing that since June 23rd. It's been a great partnership. So at this time, we'd like to go ahead and formalize that partnership and also pay some rent and lease funds to the church to help them and to, show our appreciation and use of their facility. So Pastor Delmar White from New Mount Zion Baptist Church is here this morning, and I've asked him to come say a few words.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Thank you, Linda. Just briefly, I won't keep you all day. We are grateful for the opportunity to be able to provide the space and have the testing done at our facility. It's conducive. They're able to drive through the parking lot and through our covered portion of our facility, and they're also able to use the inside, the nurses and the staff from the county who are doing the testing to store their supplies. So they have access to our security code, to the building. They also have a key to the building, as well as access to the room to where they store their materials. So we are thankful and grateful for the opportunity to partner with the health department to provide testing. It's a good partnership.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Just like to thank Pastor White for opening up your facility, being a partner with the county in this endeavor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I'd be happy to answer any questions about the agreement.
I have none. I'll move for approval.
I'll second, but I do have one quick question. So this is specifically for drive-through testing. At such point that we have an immunization vaccination that needs to be distributed, at some point, would we be willing or be able to use this for that as well, for like a drive-through?
Yes, we would.
Okay.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. Those opposed, motion carries 3-0. Thank you,
Thank
Linda.
you, Commissioner.
Next item.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
Okay, at this time, anyone from the public who'd like to speak, come forward, or anyone from any of our departments?
Thank you, Commissioners. Andrew Howell, Shawnee County Election Office. Just wanted to address a couple of things that have been in the press recently. Unfortunately, we didn't get any calls or questions, and some people jumped to some conclusions that weren't quite accurate, so I wanted to address those for just a second about our mail ballot drop box program. My plan is to come to the County Commission on Thursday and do a presentation about all of the locations that we're planning on having mail ballot drop locations throughout the county. I expect probably more than at least 10 locations. We're going to use a mobile approach to that. But I also want to make sure that people always know where there's at least one box they can get to consistently at the same location. So we're doing kind of a bifurcated approach to it to make sure it's as easy as possible for people to access. We've got a couple of mobile trailers. One of my concerns has also been making sure people can actually find the drop boxes. So we've got a fairly aggressive graphic. We've got some flags that say Shawnee County mail ballot drop box on them to help people find those boxes as well. So we've really tried to think through making sure that people can find it, that it's in a lot of good locations. Additionally, it's important to check and make sure that we've got a good security plan. You know, there really isn't time to put together an aggressive security camera system. So we will have each of the stations manned, but there will be a pretty good sized number, I think, of convenient locations for people throughout the county. And we'll go into detail about that on Thursday with you, but I just wanted to let you know that we are making sure that people have adequate access and the options will be available soon. We also need to check and make sure that before we release them publicly, I want to make sure that we've got them finalized, that the locations are all well aware of kind of what we're planning to do. So I expect to be down here on Thursday going over that with you one last time and make sure that everybody in the public is aware of all those details. So just an FYI, more attention and detail coming soon on that.
Okay.
If you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer those.
Any questions?
I've got questions, but I'll wait until next week's presentation before, and see if you answer them ahead of time.
I'm actually planning on coming this next
Or
Thursday.
Thursday
yeah.
presentation.
Yeah, same. I'm looking forward to the presentation on Thursday.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Thanks,
Andrew.
Thank you.
Tim Laurent, Shawnee County Parks and Rec. I just wanted to take a second to thank the Friends at Ward Mead and that group for all the work they did for the Garden Glow event, and also John Bell and his staff. My family and I made it out on Saturday night, and wow, it was, man, it was a lot of work. You can see how much work they put into it, but it turned out great. So thanks to all those for all that group, both groups for putting that together, and I have a sneaking suspicion that you may see that event again next year. So, but anyway, thanks to them.
Thank you.
Quick question. Hey, Tim. When will we find out what the final take was for the Parks for All Foundation on that event.
I've heard some preliminary numbers, but I don't want to mention them today, but I think we'll know real soon.
Okay.
Yeah, real
Yeah,
soon.
I mean, the night that I went, it was extraordinarily busy.
Yeah.
And it looked like a very successful event, so
Yeah,
I hope to see it again in the future.
I parked-
Along with tulips at twilight.
I parked several blocks away.
Yeah.
It was very busy, yeah. But, well, we'll get you some numbers.
All right,
It was a
thanks.
great event.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tim.
Good morning, Commissioners. Linda Oaks from the Health Department. I'm very happy to announce today that we will be having a free flu clinic for uninsured adults. This will be a drive-through clinic this Wednesday at Hummer Sports Park from 4 to 6:30 p.m. So again, that's free for uninsured adults. It will be a drive-through. We'll have 2 lanes for drive-through. We also will have a table for walk-up because this location is very close to bus stops, so you can take the bus and come walk up and get your flu shot. So again, free flu for uninsured adults, 4 to 6:30 p.m., Hummer Sports Park. I want to thank USD 501 and Hummer Sports Park for partnering with us on this. Also for the Metro, there's no charge, there's no fares right now, so it's a free bus ride if you need your shot. The paperwork is on our immunizations webpage if you can go out and print it off and fill it out before you come, but we will have it available there at the site also. So.
Linda, Hummer Sports Park's a pretty big place. What area
It's
is?
the parking lot by the stadium, so there will be directions on how to drive through. It's that big parking lot.
By the football stadium?
Yes, by the football stadium.
Okay, great, thank you.
And, let's be clear too, this is for the normal flu that's coming around. This isn't the COVID, so.
This is for influenza.
Right.
Yeah, there's 4
Influenza,
strains
okay.
in the shot this year, and we really encourage everyone to get a flu shot. As Dr. Pizzino said, you don't want to have the flu and COVID at the same time.
Okay. All right, thank you,
Okay,
Linda.
thank you.
Apologize, Commissioners. Andrew Howell, Shawnee County Election Commissioner. Just wanted to do one final reminder as well. Tomorrow is the deadline. 13th is the deadline to finish your registrations. If you haven't registered, you want to check your registrations, that is the deadline to register to vote. You can actually do that online until midnight, and Topeka Shawnee County Public Library until 9 p.m. So we have, I think, 40-some outposts across the county. It's on our website. If you have other questions and you want to actually fill out a card, you've got a lot of options out there. But just a reminder on close of registration coming up very soon. Thanks.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Commissioner Mays, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? I don't have much to say tonight, this morning.
All right.
Commissioner, I went to the Garden Glow on Friday night, and it was also well attended on Friday night. Saturday at NOTO, there was a celebration of 10 years of NOTO, and it was great to see all of the people that were out and about and in NOTO, also how Red Bud Park turned out, and it's just a great asset to the community. And it's been a joy to be able to see how that's developed, knowing that we used some of our JADO monies for quality of life improvements there. And then finally, if the Garden Glow wasn't enough, the fall guide is out by Parks and Rec. Make sure you pick it up. There are other events that you can go to in Shawnee County, and we would encourage you to get active. And there's a lot of different activities in Shawnee County Parks and Rec that you can find at little or no cost.
Thank you. I just wanted to say, it's not too late to fill in get your census turned in, and so please do that. It has a huge impact on a lot of different things that happen. The number of representatives we have from our state are based on that, and a lot of other funds and grants and everything are based on our numbers, and we use those numbers all the time for all sorts of statistics, so it's important to get those in. Also, I wanted to mention, if you're able to donate blood, there's always a need. We've had a kind of a shortage of blood donations during all this COVID, but the need is still out there, so if you're able, roll up your sleeve. There's no need for an executive session, so we're adjourned.